Hello, and welcome to Sitter's Baked Goods. Today we're going to be making apricot cages. I'm going to be testing out some ideas I have about these apricot cages. I'm going to put cream cheese on the bottom of a few of them. I'm going to put lemon curd under a few of them. I'm going to keep them plain for a few of them. And then I'm also going to put streusel on top. So I'm going to do one with streusel and nothing, one with nothing and no streusel, one with cream cheese and streusel, one without streusel but with cream cheese, and so on with the lemon curd. So there'll be 6 in total. But we're going to test this out and see which one is the best. And later on, if the cream cheese turns out to be the better option, I'm also going to be trying mascarpone cheese to see if that's better than cream cheese. So first we're going to get the 3 side ingredients done. We already have the lemon curd done, so we just have the jar ready. I put in all the ingredients for the streusel and for the cream cheese. I'm just putting sugar and a little bit of salt. This will be a work in progress, so the recipe will be in the description below, but it is subject to change, so understand that it might not be the same recipe as you see me doing. So it's just going to be like, you just put enough sugar in and salt to be nice and smooth. The apricots are candied, so they're in simple syrup. So you don't need the cream cheese to be super sweet. You kind of want it to not be super sweet so that it gives a contrast to the apricots. This is the puff pastry. It's still a bit frozen, so I've had to hammer it a little bit. Be very careful though when you're hammering. You're just trying to get it going. You're not trying to damage it. So just hammer lightly. And because it's taking too long and it's a little frozen still, or sorry, not frozen, a little tough, too much gluten worked in, I'm going to put it into the fridge to rest and then take it back out and roll it. Now that I have this out, I need 12 pieces, 1 piece for the bottom, 1 piece for the top, to make 6 cages. So obviously it's going to be 4 by 3. Simple math. Now, because there's those corner pieces, you're going to want to use those corner pieces for the bottom. Because that way you can get a nice big piece to cover over it and make sure it covers over versus the other way around. Now these are very wet, obviously, because they're soaked into simple syrup. So we need to make sure that we dry them out. I'm just doing this to show you on the table. I didn't actually want to do this. I would way rather have it in a bowl so it's not messy or anything. It's just easier for you guys to see it to do it this way. So please put it in a bowl, because look what I have to do. I have to like kind of roll it up, rip some of it. It's kind of terrible, right? So just put it in a bowl or on a plate and make sure that it dries out. Just like that. I'm going to be using 4 apricot halves per piece. And obviously we have to egg wash to seal it and to make it shine. So then we're going to just roll out individual pieces together. I'm just doing it this way because I'm testing it out and I want to make sure that each one is perfect rather than doing it efficiently. If you are doing it efficiently, all you would do is you'd roll all of them out at once, put like all the bottoms out at once, get all the apricots on top with whatever it ends up being, if it's cream cheese, nothing, or lemon curd. then rolling out all the bottoms, or sorry, the tops, cutting them to get the design you want, and then covering them. So this one is going to be a cream cheese one. And I've already messed up. Remember how I just told you that you should use the corner pieces, the ones that are not the best, to put on the bottom? Well, I obviously didn't do that. I should have used the other piece for the apricots, because that way I know exactly that I can cover it with the bigger piece. Now it's going to be a lot harder for me to cover it. But I'll end up getting it in anyways. So then you're just going to fold it in half, cut whatever design you want. Again, just like with the apple cages, it's up to you what you like. I'm just going to do the simple slice, 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 instead of doing what I do with the apple cages. Later on, I probably will do what I do with the apple cages and make a design for it. But I'm trying to test out taste, so I want to make sure that's the most important thing right now. So, egg wash to glue. And then cover. Because, yeah, this one was a smaller piece, it's a lot harder. Luckily, I used a big bottom piece to help me a little bit, which makes it slightly easier because I can use some of the bottom to stretch up to connect with the top. But again, do it reverse to make it easier on yourself. There we go. Also, I should have used more dough because it's a lot easier to get a perfect square with more dough than it is with the amount I did. However, I also should have rolled them out more. The dough is a little thick, which means I have to bake it longer, which I don't like to do. I should have rolled it out like a millimeter thinner, like just a small bit amount. And that could have been all I needed to make it into a perfect square for all the pieces, but you live and learn, right? So on to the next piece. We're going to do the other cream cheese one, this time with streusel. All the extra cream cheese that I made, because I made a lot, I just put it in the fridge. I'll use it later on for my sandwiches or whatever. Or once I would be in the business, I'd be just saving it and using it for the next one. So we're just going to put on our 4. The reason why you want them to be dry is because it will steam up, breaking the seal between the top and bottom. Also, it makes a huge mess by bubbling over the sides of the holes in the top. It's just overall ugly looking in the end and messy, and there's a lot of cleanup. No need for it. There we go. This one's going to be super easy because I got a big bottom piece and a big top piece. But again, I should have rolled them out a little bit thinner to make the bake time a little bit less. Look how much easier this one was compared to the last one. This is what I would want to do for my business, rather than what I was playing around with on the last one. This looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, way better. Then I'm gonna egg wash and put streusel on. Now I'm gonna just put it on here and show you. Again, if I was into the bakery, do this all on your tray at the end. Don't make a mess on your table. I just want to show you make sure you see, because the last few times I was doing this sort of stuff, I was covering the camera and stuff, and I want to make sure that you guys get to see exactly what I'm doing. Because I made a mess, though, I will have to clean up, get it all back to normal, and start again. So on to the next one. I'm going to show all 6, by the way, and give my opinions on them at the end. So once we roll these out, we're going to move on to the lemon curd. So just like with the cream cheese, just put a bit of lemon on the bottom as your base. Put your 4 apricots on afterwards. I figured with the apricots being so sweet that the acidity from the lemon curd would help a lot in contrast. But we'll see in the end after I taste them. Now another corner piece, so again, like I said for the first one, do it nicely. Use this for the bottom. Would have made it easier. This one's a bigger corner piece, so it's not the biggest of deals, but if you look at the top part there, it's a bit curved inwards, which is going to make it slightly harder to do. Always make sure you glue. If you don't do this glue, it'll just come apart, and your customers are going to be like, "What? Why? Why is this? Why did I pay so much money for this?" It coming apart could be the difference between you selling it this one piece for $5. If it comes apart, it like $2. Like, I wouldn't pay more than that if it's just gonna fall apart. And this is a very labor-intensive dish, baked good. So what that means is it's relatively cheap ingredients wise. Like, each one probably cost me 40 cents, 50 cents to make one of those. And look how big it is, which seems fair. But because it takes me so long to make the puff dough, takes me so long to make them, that's where the costs come in. When it comes to the bakery, this will definitely cost probably $5 to $4 a piece, purely based on that. However, if I was doing for a big order, say like 12, because you're doing 12, it's a lot, like the same amount of labor to make one is in making 12 almost, because rolling out 12 is probably only like an extra 20 minutes compared to just rolling out the one. So what that means is I can give a bit of a deal for if someone orders 12 versus 1. So I would probably sell 12 for $36, so $3 a piece. But if I was going to sell them individually, I'd probably sell them 4 to 5. Probably 4. But I'd have to cost everything out to fully know exactly what I'd sell it for. So this one's going to be the lemon curd with streusel on top. Streusel's a really nice decorating thing. Gives it a little cookie crumble. Makes it look a little bit more appealing, depending on how you use it. Not always. It doesn't always make it look more appealing. Sometimes it makes it look dirty, but it depends on the product. So even if the streusel doesn't add too much to the taste, it might look good enough that I keep it anyways. But we'll find out in the end, just like before. By the way, I am egg washing the other ones that aren't getting streusel, I'm just egg washing and showing you this so that you can see it stick to the top. I will obviously egg wash right before I put into the oven to get that beautiful shine. There we go. Obviously be very careful. I know I'm lifting and throwing around, but it's only because I'm actually trying to be super careful. It just looks dangerous what I'm doing. So, because I'm not putting anything on now, I'm going to egg wash the bottom to make sure things stick. And to make sure that any bits of the bottom that you can see will obviously have a shine. With the other ones, you don't obviously need to do it because there's going to be curd or cream cheese that's going to cover the dough anyways. There we go. Super easy when the big squares. You really want to make sure it's sealed. If it's not sealed, it's going to be a big problem later on. See? That's just what I'm going to be doing later on. Just egg wash. It's not that hard. And the last one. So plain with streusel. So when I started to taste these, the lemon curd, a little too overpowering. The apricots didn't have a say in it, and it's all just basically lemon with a touch of sweetness. And this is supposed to be an apricot cage, so I don't think I'll be going on with the lemon curd. However, I might test out having an apricot jam instead, but what I really did like was the cream cheese. The cream cheese gave it a nice smooth texture, a nice, with a little bit of a bite, like a crunch from the dough, smooth from the cream cheese, and a little bit of a smush with the apricots, which was amazing. The texture is very important when it comes to food. And then it also gave it a nice creamy texture. Or sorry, not texture, taste. It was overall the best of the three, in my opinion. So I'll probably be testing into mascarpone cheese and cream cheese and see which one I like better. And maybe I'll throw in that apricot jam as well, just to give it a chance. And with the streusel, I felt it took away from the apricots inside the cage, and it kind of hid it. So I'm also going to be getting rid of the streusel. Streusel won't be in the final design. So there they are. I egg wash them right before I put them in. I don't egg wash them beforehand because it will dry out. 25 minutes later, or 24 minutes later. Look at these beauties. Nice and golden brown. Just amazing. Look at those. Now these are how they turned out. Again, just like I explained, I'll probably be going on with the cream cheese slash mascarpone cheese, which I'll make another video soon. I'll be scrapping the streusel just for this one, but for other orders I'll make it. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I even have my own website. Thank you, and have a nice day.